What's good, y'all? From the Ashes We Rise Again, MCTR Black Phoenix Podcast. Appreciate y'all rocking out with us for another week. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We're going to keep on cooking. It is what it is. TR, what's good with you?
Hey, I am good. Eagles are doing very good. And, it's almost Thanksgiving too. So you got to start planning ahead for those family affairs, or at least get your topics out of the way.
Man, we all think so. Yeah, it's going to be crazy.
MC, have you ever had a crazy Thanksgiving incident?
It's actually been pretty calm since I've approached adulthood, but I got stories for days when it comes to my childhood. I didn't see it all, man. I'm talking about people throwing hands, people messing with other people's chicks. I done been over houses. Man, I got some crazy stories. I done been to Friendsgivings that really wasn't Friendsgivings at all. I got all kinds of stories, man.
Oh yeah, Friendsgiving. Yeah, there's a Friendsgiving coming up. But it's been pretty tame. I don't think we've ever had like a crazy Thanksgiving or anything like that at a family event. So maybe this year will be the year.
Nah, because we hosted my house, and I pretty much run my house like, now, if y'all got some stuff, I gotta take that aside, man. I ain't about to kill the vibe in my house.
All right. We are going to start off with unload the clips. So
Let's do it.
let me get this ready. Go. Oh man, this one's gonna be funny.
Number 1, I get nervous.
Number 2, too gay. This is a channel letter.
My opinion, you should name your child after something you love.
Good night, titties. Anyways, if you need something for your business, the Lightbox is the perfect choice. You're incredibly huge.
Which toilet do I use? Hello, I'm a non-binary person in the UK, and quite a lot of people seem to think it is appropriate to ask me which toilet I choose to use.
Just shitting your pants. Anyways, this is a faceless sign with RGB effect. Anyways, I don't know who needs to hear this, but some things may work out. Some things may not work out. Some mena, waka waka, Have you ever seen this kind of sign? This is a trim cat facelet sign with
Reasons why.
That guy's funny.
Yeah, he is. And TR, as somebody who has a whole lot of British co-workers, that non-binary stuff is 100% factual. All of it, man.
It'd be like that.
It'd be like that. Like, you gotta watch your words. You gotta make sure feelings ain't hurt. I don't know what's going on in the UK, but yeah, it's wild over there.
I mean, Europe has been wild out for a while. So if we ever visit, they're trying to lock people up for what they say on social media. That's how crazy it is.
Yeah, Piers Morgan's talked about that on multiple occasions. Yeah, that's facts.
All right.
Baby Daddy Olympics.
Now I gotta say, I am kind of surprised somebody hasn't like lampooned this or made a skit, because this is funny as hell.
Yeah.
This is your host Keisha, and we are starting the first event, the 100-meter run from responsibility. You said you was gonna be there, DeAndre.
And DeAndre is once again dodging accountability like a gold medalist.
Welcome.
First of all, she ain't catching that, dude. That's number one.
Look here. Let me. I think some people might think like you only show the black AI. Nah, we show them all. Case in point.
When we did Fit the Clowns last week, they clowned every race in that one. We go after everybody. They better quit playing.
Hey, for real.
A single mother with a good job, daddy issues, and a need of male validation. Let's try to catch this one.
Oh no, not again.
We did it! Another successful catch. Wow. I found one with internalized self-hatred and an embedded colonized mentality. Let's try to catch this one.
We did it! Ling Ling is mine!
Wow. This one has an expired U.S. visa and is desperate not to be sent back to her war-torn country. Let's catch it.
We did it! God bless America!
Whoa. Found a recently divorced boss babe trying to prove to her ex-husband she's doing better without him.
Sweet.
Time to run our pockets.
Found a guy desperate to make it out the hood and will do anything for some money. It's Diddy time.
Oh, man.
I gotta say, these people are getting really, I mean, they're getting really good at this AI stuff, man. Like AI is definitely taking over the world, but these jokes, these skits that they've been making, it's a whole nother level. And it blows my mind if people I hope people aren't falling for it, because I say AI all the time, so I can tell that, and most of the time I can tell when a video is AI, but still, some people still falling for it.
Yeah, it's getting better out here. But that's all low hanging fruit, by the way, especially the divorced false chick try to outlive her husband or outdo her husband. That's super low hanging fruit. And the self hater, of course.
Oh shit. MC, can you talk for a little bit? I gotta log into this video.
All right, cool. So yeah, just for context, y'all know we started the show now with these clips. We pull up these clips that we find entertaining. Hopefully you do too. But also you can, as TR just said, the AI is getting so good on some of these that you can't even really tell no more. And it's only going to get better. Y'all might as well get on this wave. One thing I do in my personal time is teach folks how to mess around with AI. So it's here. It ain't going nowhere. And invest in it too. I'm not going to tell you where to invest your money because we're not financial advisors, but y'all might only jump on this train while you can, because everybody keep talking about the bubble's going to burst, but that's going to be a long time from now. That much I can promise you.
I mean, this is the best time to kind of learn this new technology.
Yeah, no doubt. You can take free courses. Google has AI Essentials. Go on ahead and log on in there and take those courses and step your AI game up, because it's coming. It's not going anywhere. And the crazy thing, you could teach it to just do so much stuff. I use it to run background checks on people sometimes. It searches all the public spaces. You can see who's been arrested, what's on their record, all that stuff, man.
Holy shit, MC.
Yeah,
well,
AI's dope.
I mean, I tell you what, though, even if you don't go the background route, it's going to get to a point where it just pull all your social media public profiles as well, too.
Yeah, no doubt.
So, all right, I got the video queued up. So this is from this is Ariana Grande, and it's so funny because I see this chick with her all the time, but I can never remember her name. Cynthia Erivo.
Yeah.
Yep. So, and I've never seen Wicked. MC, feel free to tell the audience if you've seen Wicked.
No, I'm heterosexual, so I haven't either.
Hey, I remember you said that though, because we got a video a little bit later that's gonna be a little controversial. So oh.
Wow.
This is crazy to me. Look. I think some security guards getting fired because
yeah.
Let me mute this real quick. I think some security guards getting fired though, because she shouldn't have gotten touched like that and touched that long. And this guy, he definitely wanted to get in there, get a video in. Also, I don't know what Cynthia was going to do, because between the both of them, okay, I'm not going to shame their weight, but I'm not. I wouldn't be afraid if they were trying to throw hands between both of them. But these guys, they might be getting fired though. They might be getting new security staff next week.
I'll shame their way. People that size usually throw punches that feel like pillows. I'll say it. But look, man, I expected a little girl to run up and do some stuff like that. I was a grown man.
Yeah, that's a whole nother conversation too. Some of y'all men, y'all be doing too damn much. Y'all be doing way too much, running up on women. And I'm not getting out here to try to put a cape on anything, but you cannot run up on celebrities. And whenever these people want to run onto like the football field or a baseball field, I'd be like, please let this person get leveled. Please let them get leveled. Sometimes they do. Sometimes they get tased. But but I mean, this probably was a little bit scary for her, because he could have just picked her up and walked out with her.
This ain't no different than all the jokers we talk about that go to comedy shows and try to make it about them as opposed to seeing the comedian. This is the people
Yeah.
trying to find their little seconds of fame.
Yeah.
Man, that dude is such a loser for this. You can't run up on people, period, without their authorization.
That's a
People's
fact.
personal space.
That is a definite fact. All right. Next clip.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I am not being submissive. If you want to be with me, you need to be the provider. You need to be the protector. You need to make sure my hair is done, my nails done, my feet are done. Look at my yard. I need my grass cut every single week. Don't worry about how many bodies I got. That's the past. God knows my heart. I'm not gonna be cooking. I'm not gonna be cleaning. All that is your responsibility. Me and my kids are.
That's how you handle that situation like that. Don't entertain it. Just pull up. Like, all right, have a good night. Keep it moving, fellas. Keep it moving.
Hey, did you say God knows my heart?
She said, God knows my heart. My body count don't matter. All of that. She hit up with all the modern women cliches. Good luck, single bros. Good luck out here.
Hey, look, there's long as women continue doing some stuff like this, Andrew Wilson's gonna keep giving y'all some help.
Shots fired, man.
Your boy Andrew. He kind of going through it. I don't know if you guys had a chance to see Andrew Wilson or if you know who he is. And MC, you know, I don't know him like that though, so correct me if I'm, you know, saying some things out of pocket though. But he dabbles in the red pill space. He talks to and he really just, you know, has a lot of conversations with women that are on OnlyFans and whatnot. But anyways, he had a debate with CGA. And then there was a whole hoopla about that, and then it blew up. And then he had the conversation, and then the lead attorney reacted to the video. So it's one thing because I already seen the video, and then when I watch the lead attorney, it's crazy how he has like a different perspective on. I mean, he's an attorney, like 20-year attorney, and not too many attorneys can be very eloquent in how they deliver these messages. But with the lead attorney, you're gonna joke. He's gonna say some stuff out of pocket. He's gonna say some stuff you may not agree with, but he's gonna give you straight facts when it comes to divorce and relationships. And there were a lot of things that Andrew Wilson said shouldn't be making some of his followers like kind of think twice about his messaging.
It's not so much what he said; it's how he's living. Because if you preach in one thing and you kind of moving the opposite way of what you're talking, because I've heard him say some things about, you know, becoming a stepfather and stuff like that. But that's the main thing. And then, like I said, like we talked about this last week, so go back and check that out. But yeah, people like that still provide for good content, and I watch the Peep game, so I still see value in it.
Yeah, no, I see a spot for him though, because you know, as long as women continue, and which is, I mean, for women, if you really want to get them in, you gotta stop putting this stuff online. You gotta start calling out the bad behavior. You gotta start shaming women. But we know that's not going to happen, and so that's why folks like Andrew Wilson and other red pill rangers are going to be in here talking that nonsense.
The red pill ranger. That's the first time I heard that one, TR.
Oh, hey, I can't even take that one. I heard somebody else say it.
For the record, if you want to take the stepdaddy route, do you, man. All I'm saying is make sure she loves you and not just only what you're doing for her kids. That's all I'm saying. Make sure she respects you and love you. Because men operate on respect.
Oh, and then MC, I forgot. I didn't even get a chance to tell you this or talk to you about this. There was towards the end of it, and I don't think, and it's part of the reason when we reviewed the video, we got to the point, but we didn't get to like the last part. But when CGA had said, I bet your wife has a higher body count than you, to his Andrew Wilson.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit, I fucking forgot about that. Like, yeah.
Well, like you said, they took it out of the playback, so we couldn't even play that portion of the clip. But
damn, I forgot it. I was like, man, CGA. I'm not saying you were out of pocket, but maybe you could have kept that one.
Yeah, that's borderline. Let's take this outside. I ain't even gonna lie, but they both seem to push through it.
Last video.
I think there's anything harder than finding a liberal boyfriend. Oh. Where is he?
Ladies, if you want a left-leaning man, he's probably gonna be in your closet wearing the same stuff as you.
It says HIV awareness.
I'm more so looking at what's on the stage. Those are the liberal
Oh,
boyfriends that she's looking for.
I didn't even got to that point. Like it's a whole yeah.
Most men are smart enough to know that most masculine men are smart enough to know you don't have a space.
Oh man.
You really don't. And the sooner you realize that, the better. They're not trying to hear nothing you say or anything you feel. So go where you celebrate it.
You know what? I don't think that really matters because a lot of these men are doing things that they believe women will want. Or when it comes to trashing other men, they think that's going to put them in that realm. So they do not end up, or they can get to that woman, get access to that woman. We all know that's not true. You can do a lot of things for a woman. She still won't respect you. And we're talking about your wife.
No,
Like some men can't even get respect in their own home, and they're doing all the protecting and providing, and it don't matter. But yeah, I was just thinking about this too because there was a conversation I had with someone where this woman, her son had wrote wrote some paper or whatever for school and was talking about the 19th Amendment, and I was like, look, he didn't go far enough. We need to strip out the voting rights from some of these simp ass men, these simp enforcers. I don't know how you're gonna. I mean, I feel like you can police it. So anyone that voted for Kamala automatically remove their voting rights off rip.
Anybody who wears a T-shirt that says "Vote like a Black Woman," Roland Martin. I mean, we saw his browser history in the previous podcast. I mean, and again, if that's the lifestyle you want to live, cool. All I'm saying is stand on it.
He got so mad about that. He tried to clean that up too. I was like, come on, Roland, you can't.
Yeah, we all saw it. Pink Book got the receipts too, so we ain't talking.
Hey, shout out to Pink Book Lessons.
Indeed. Much
all
love,
right.
Pink Book.
We are going to 50 Cent makes an appearance on the show, and it's going to be a clip from 50 Cent about actually, MC, you want to tee this one up?
Like you said, 50 just keep getting done. 50 is the king of the trolls as far as I'm concerned. I probably put Cameron at the number 2 spot, but 50, nobody trolls better than him. And we're going to see some evidence of spinning the block in this example.
Oh, yeah, that's what it was. There we go.
I've said this many times.
And I got to say, man, it's been some time since we've seen Vivica Fox. I mean, the Vivica Fox that we know now. It's been some time. This seemed 22 years. Oof. Vivica Fox was on a different style.
For sure.
Before 50 Cent was the love of my life. He was the one that, dang, kind of blew that one. Happens. I was young, had been used to taking care of myself. 50 wanted me to be his princess, and I didn't get it. I didn't get it. So, my fault. I didn't get it. So, my fault. I didn't get it. So, my fault.
Did you learn anything from that relationship?
Sure. Let a man be a man. 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 That's the biggest lesson that I learned dating 50 Cent.
A few moments later.
Don't date 50 Cent. Don't date no damn rappers.
Man, Vivica Fox was probably one of the few Black actresses that people was a household name. She had the looks, she had the charisma. She starred in a couple, top movies. But man, this arc after even after 50 Cent, what she's been on, and she said that she's, was talking that BS about Kevin Samuels. Yeah, all you got to do is live a little bit longer and you'll see yourself not be the hero, but be the troll.
Shout out to Angry Man for putting that clip up, by the way. We rock with Angry Man over here too. But here's the takeaway, TR. She went from showing a little bit of accountability to absolutely none. And this is more so to the women who can't turn it off. I get it. Everybody in your life is disappointing you. You've had to take care of yourself and be in survival. But then the real one walk into your life and is trying to improve your life and make things better. And you don't want to acknowledge and give him the respect. And now you got the audacity to be kind of pissed off that he's like, all right, cool. I'm gonna move on. I'm done with you. But like you said, TR, she kind of fumbled a lot, man. She was at the Kill Bills. She was in Independence Day. I mean,
Yeah.
she started off as black famous, but she
She
was
was gonna play that
slowly
game.
evolving into like international famous. And
Yeah.
whatever happened. But yeah, this was a fumble on her part. She admitted it at first. We ain't even got to say it. She said it.
Yeah, I don't understand is you can admit it and you can see that this was, for let other women know, let the younger self know. But then you turn around and you're like, nah, I'm just gonna say it because I need to I need to sell courses, I need to sell books, I need to get this registration. I mean, I'm sure she has a lot of money, but the point is she can start telling women the truth, but they don't want to tell the women the truth because they'll either sacrifice the money or they jeopardize the money or they jeopardize their career. I know she still works in media to an extent, but it's like, man, is it really worth it? Are you guys willing to continue to walk in the desert for another 40 years? Like, is that worth it?
Sometimes people like being unhappy, TR. And one of the coldest things I heard, man, when I was going through my marriage counseling was you're not responsible for her happiness. If she's not a happy person, you can't do anything to help that. She got it her own way. So 50 said, I've had enough, and he kept it moving like all men should do, not most, bro.
Yeah, I think either men, you can go to counseling or just kind of walk out of it. But look, men, you're gonna have to be a therapist. You're gonna have to be you're gonna have to continue your job. You're gonna have to be the best dad in the world. There's a lot of things that gets a lot of titles and roles. And I know a lot of men say they are okay with that because that's what they signed up for. You didn't sign up for an unruly woman. I can promise you that. You didn't sign up to not get your duck sick for 2 years or unless it's on your birthday. Like you didn't sign up for stuff like that. So, people have to kind of look at their marriages. They're gonna have to go the ecclesiastic route if you want that long term.
Man, you ain't gonna let this go, are you?
No. Ecclesiastic MC. I feel like I know you do some mentorships, but you need to add some ecclesiastic teachings in those mentorships. Because I think a lot of people will have stronger marriages. So
look, man, one thing I realized a long time ago is it's not my responsibility to play matchmaker, and it's not my responsibility to build stronger marriage. Marriage is cooked in the West. So the best thing I can do is deal with the guys I mentor. We talk about stuff like this all the time. We actually review our podcast and talk about it too as of late. So, but no, I ain't trying to fix it because a lot of people, particularly black men, they so used to being disrespected that they normalize it. Like, oh, that's just her being her. And you being goofy and just sitting there tolerating it. If you work for a living and you go out there and you dealing with the world all day long, the last thing you want to do is come home and deal with some woman that thinks that it's a flex to being hard to handle or something like that. Girl, if you don't go somewhere and sit down, I had a long day. Unless the words out of your mouth is how was your day or what do you want for dinner, I need a little bit of time to chill and calm down.
Or drop neck. I mean, it doesn't be in that order.
There's always that. Oh. You ain't gonna never turn that down.
All right. Let's go to the next clip. Now, before people start crashing out, this is not something that this is not by a black man, this is by a black woman. So I don't know where her political status is, maybe Democrat. So I know you're gonna shut the hell up about her critique on black women and their relationships.
Well, there's a 92% chance you're right, TR.
You know what? Hold on, MC. Oh man. Hold on. Oh, I put the wrong link in there. Good thing I'm sharing my screen. Hold on.
Oh, yeah. Good catch. Pause.
There we go. Yeah. All right. Get this.
Technical difficulties, y'all, but we getting there.
Mm-hmm. Hey, this is JoJo Inspire. She does these funny clips on Instagram and TikTok. So definitely give her a follow. I'm pretty sure it's all for jokes. A little bit of truth, though.
Black girl marriage frequency rates by archetype. Okay, the high rates who get married the most frequently, I'm gonna say the girl next door, usually average, don't demand a lot, date a lot of blue collar guys. The dudes from scale to 1 to 10 usually range from 5 to 7. Okay, next up, black
Hey, TR,
nerd.
hold on, TR. Hold on. This is downside of going live. I think you clicked on the wrong link.
No, this is JoJo.
That's not the ranking of types of modern women, though.
Oh, you know what?
Yeah. Here it is right here. I just dropped it in. I just dropped the link for you.
Oh, you know what? MC. So this was the link that I pulled up, but I thought it was a different link.
Yeah, that one is something different. I mean, we could probably roll back to that one next week because it's gonna be some hurt feelings on that one.
I thought
this is it. Trust me, this is it.
I thought it was a rainbow conversation. I was like, whoa, Clark link.
Yeah.
I was like, how did this get in here? But you dropped the rainbow link, so there's that.
You'll see.
Oops.
Of modern women to date, from walking red flags to full-on wifey material. The high-value influencer. She says she's building a brand, but the brand is really just selfies, pictures of her ass, and captions about her being a boss. She doesn't need a boyfriend, she needs a professional photographer. Dating her means you're always going to be competing with her audience of simps. D tier. The soft girl.
You know what? That is 1,000% true. Because there have been times where I'm like, God damn, put your phone down. Or who like constantly like red flag is a woman on a lot of social media accounts, Snap, IG, Facebook, TikTok, especially TikTok, because TikTok gives out the worst advice and people take it as gospel. There was a girl I was dating where she would send me these clips of these men that were telling this, basically simping out. And I'm like, first of all, that guy might be rainbow. He ain't got a chick. Why is he unmarried? I mean, one time I got a Derrick Jackson clip. I'm like, oh, fuck. I was like, are you serious? Like, it's weird because if you approach a woman in real life, she's gonna turn you down. But they don't know how to decipher when a guy is lying to them on social media versus a guy that's lying to them in person. Like, I don't know how that's even possible, but for whatever reason, they don't know how to like differentiate that this person's lying to them, trying to get them to buy a course or just get them to, get clicks.
Yeah. So first of all, there are scientific studies that show that the number of times you post on social media directly relate to being selfish and narcissistic. So I say all that to say, fellas, if you're looking at potentially dating somebody who's very active in these social media spaces, she's posting a lot of pics, she's going live a whole bunch, and she's just documenting everything in her life. I'm telling you right now, it's not going to end well. But you really want to look for somebody who values privacy and is not so much concerned with getting validation from other people who are not you. This is why celebrity marriages are generally a disaster and a cluster F. So just keep that in mind, man. If she's more concerned with what strangers think of her than you do, you're going to have a bad time.
Yep, facts.
Era. She's all about affirmations, matchas, healing crystals, until something doesn't go her way. She's soft online, but explosive in person. She'll say, I'm protecting my peace, literally right after starting an argument with you. C tier. The spiritual girl who still talks.
That is so okay. So this is the whole I'm submissive for the right man type of stuff. No, you're not. That's either in you or it's not. It's not something that, especially if you're anywhere, it's like in your 30s and above, you're more than likely never going to change who you are as a person. So you're already cooked anyway. So never listen to them when they say stuff like that. It's cap.
Yeah, don't listen at all, honestly.
She's all about energy, astrology, and divine timing, but as soon as the moon changes positions, she's pissed at you. She'll ghost you for a week if her horoscope tells her to. Spirituality is just her excuse for causing chaos. Red flag, D tier. The part.
See, what was this, like the third or the fourth one? Like, men, we're pretty simple. Do you got money or do you not got money? That's it. That's it. That's it. I feel bad, man. It's just what it is. Do you got money? Do you not got money? Because if you want a family, you're gonna need money. If you want to run these streets, you're gonna need money. And if you want to be with a bad chick, you're gonna need money. All this stuff is relating to you're gonna need money. And it's unfortunate though, because obviously we know our value and we, do, many things when it comes to like protecting a family and raising our kids in this world. But for some reason, when it comes to like trying to differentiate men, I mean, if they got the cachet, then they're going to be treated differently. It's just what it is, and they're going to get access. I mean, if you got money, whatever the list is, because I haven't seen this whole list, a man with money has access to all these women, and they will gladly go. Especially, there was a chick that I dated once that she was a hardcore liberal. I was like, oh man. I mean, and this is like when I realized there's something off with this chick. So she was a hardcore liberal and she didn't want to have kids, although she said she would be open to carrying or being a surrogate mom, whatever. I mean, like, all right, maybe. But she was hardcore liberal, but she was always broke. She was always broke, never had like kind of a real job or had a job that paid money. And what would happen is, obviously, when we would go out, like, hey, I got this, and she tried to put her money in. I'm like, you ain't even got no money. So I don't know why you even try to like grab for the wallet, but whatever. But as soon as she made like some money, it changed her whole identity, because now she's like, because she doesn't have to like worry about, depending on the man or depending on pretty much another person, but really it was a boyfriend. And so it was just so crazy to me, because as soon as she got a bag, she was like, she had a different attitude, had a lot of lip on her. Like, I ain't got to suck dick. Like, I was like, what? You always going to have to do that, whether you got money or not. But the point is, she was like, talking a little bit differently after she got a bag though. So, money helps.
I'd say this about anytime you hear the I'm spiritual, first of all, what's guaranteed that she's going to be covered in a ton of tattoos. You better look into what those tattoos mean, because this is a true story. I'm familiar with a gentleman who messed with a quote unquote spiritual, got pregnant. She's knocked up now. So when they started having conversations about, christening and stuff.
You talking about Erykah Badu?
No, I'm talking about somebody I actually know. Long story short, she was a Wiccan and she practiced certain elements of witchcraft, and he had no idea until he started doing a deep dive on what some of the tattoos on her body meant. So that's another mistake men make. They see all these tattoos and they don't even think of like asking, like, why did you get this? What does this mean? Because that'll give you some insight on what type of person she is. And I've said this before: the more tattoos she has, the more trauma that's going to be attached to her.
Yeah,
always.
The bigger the earring, the bigger the hoop, the bigger the 304. All right.
Yeah.
Party healer. She claims she's working on herself, but then she hits the club every weekend to raise her vibration. She's not healing. She's running away from the same patterns. D tier. The alt femme. These girls are extremely freaky. She's deep. She's creative. She's unpredictable. But these girls a lot of the time just want intensity and not intimacy. One day she's painting you, and the next day you're blocked on everything. C tier. The academic.
What he left out was one day she loves you, other day she's trying to stab you. Buyer beware.
Oh man, that's so bloody.
Princess. She's articulate, she's independent, but she's low-key condescending about all of it. She wants deep intellectual convos, but it's so hard for her to be vulnerable. Dating her kind of feels like a debate. B tier. The corporate woman. She's disciplined, she's magnetic,
I will tell you, these are probably the corporate one is probably the most toxic one. And maybe not even toxic. They're just the hardest one to build with, because they're successful. They got their own money. They tend to like have to do battle with men constantly. So they're like, I'm not taking your shit, blah, blah, blah type of situation. But those are always the difficult ones to have relationships. And the crazy thing, they never knew how to cook either.
Yeah. So you can kind of group those last two together, and what you're going to get is a whole bunch of student debt, a whole bunch of arguing and debating. Like we just talked about this earlier. The last thing you're trying to do after a long day at work is come home and argue every single day.
Yeah.
That's what you're going to get here. You're going to get neglected. I'm telling you right now, because she's going to worship her job more than she cares about you, and she's always going to pick that job over you. So prepare yourself to be neglected.
Yeah.
She's not paying attention to you.
And MC's being nice. He's talking about you ain't getting that neck drop. You're gonna have a dead bedroom. Like you'll be lucky if you get some action on your birthday or anniversary, wherever the case is. Like when these boss girls, when they go another level, hey, they think they're the money that they bring into the household, especially if they got to like contribute 50-50 or they make more than you, they think they got to do certain activities, which, hey, that's all on you guys. But you got to be aware of, like, when you go into these situations or you deal with these types of women, they might, be about it for the first, couple months if you get married. But after a while, I almost can guarantee you there are some men that are married. I'm like, I know your wife ain't throwing it back on you. I know your wife ain't going
to. It's way easier to tell those times.
Hey, for real. But
is powerful. She walks around like a CEO, but often behind that display, it's pure control. She'll definitely
oh yeah, another thing too, they always got dogs. They always got pets.
I'll tell you this.
Fine.
She may be masculine with you, but I promise you she's feminine with her superiors at work.
Oh yeah. Yep. They and always see, this is the other thing too. This is why it's important if you do get money though, because Anton Daniels told this story where his wife was working at some place, a bank or something, and his wife got into an argument or something happened, and he was like, he said, "What to you?" Like, I don't know if he was reprimanding her or whatever the case was, but he was talking wild. He said, he was like, you know what? I make enough money that you don't have to work. And that's a hell of a flex. Like, whether your wife has to work or do part-time, and I'm pretty sure that's a goal for most men. And he definitely gave her something to do after that because she's a part of the business. If you watch his live streams, he always talks about her, like how she's part of the business. But the point is, if your chick is having to report to another man, you're always going to come in second or third in some cases, especially if you got kids. It's like the boss, your kids, the dog, and then there's you. And you're trying to come in there and bring peace in her life. It ain't going to work.
Yeah. I say this because I live a similar lifestyle to that. It makes a huge difference in terms of the energy they have, and the enthusiasm that they have. I decided a long time ago when we started building out our family, I didn't want anybody putting things into my daughter that didn't come from me or my wife. So
yeah,
she stayed home, and it was the right move. You do not want these people in these public education spaces and daycares putting things into your kids that you don't even know about. Because I'm telling you, it happens.
Yeah, if anything, since 2020, well, really, since the last couple of years has shown us that a lot of these educators think they're above the program. They think they can just tell your kids how to think, use pronouns. There was a school system that just lost a lawsuit because they required every kid in their school to have a pronoun. Whether they want to have a pronoun or not, they required everybody to have a pronoun. I'm like, you guys are idiots. Like, you can't just get out of the way. You can't just teach kids 2 + 2, and you can't talk about geography, Black History Month. Like, you can't just do the regular things that did not get you guys in trouble. You got to go another level. You want to be woke. And I hope that lawsuit feels good. Well, the taxpayers got to pay the lawsuit, but I hope these people's learned their lesson.
I mean, there's always California or New York.
Yeah, for real.
Respect her ambition, but don't expect her to follow your lead. C tier, the modern traditional woman. She's soft, she's loyal, she's grounded, but she's not naive and she's not a robot. She's submissive and embodies femininity without losing her self-respect. This is the modern rarity, but they do exist. Nurturing, selective, and actually self-aware about what she wants. S tier, howdy brother. Today we're ranking types of modern women to date.
That's the last one. And if you find that last one, let me tell you, you found the needle in the haystack because it's few and far between.
I will say he did not cover the political, I don't know what you would call this one, but the political woman, because if they're heavy in there's actually these two levels in my opinion. There's the Democrat or the liberal one, where you if you're aware enough, you might be able to see some. I mean, I feel like conservative men will see some of the shortfalls or shortcomings of the woman that is liberal, but as long as you masculine and you got high testosterone, she's gonna go with you in most cases. Now, the ones that I think what I've seen in this space are the Republican women that claim that they follow Christ, but they're divorced, or they don't have a husband, or their husband, or their marriage ended in like cheating or something. Like there's a Republican women that operate in these spaces, they operate in Congress, and they come across like they're for men. They're not for men. We're watching Marjorie Taylor Greene come out there pretty much throw Trump under the bus because she wants to act like she's for women and she's concerned about the whole Epstein files. Like she wants to act like this is a big deal and we got to make sure we protect these women, blah, blah, blah. Marjorie Taylor Greene from her wiki has they had a different way of explaining it. I'm just gonna say she blew up her family. Like, I'm just gonna say that's exactly what happened. And at the end of the day, you have to be aware of all these archetypes of women, because for men, you'll catch wreck. Because if you are trying to act like women are this XYZ, that might work though, but you got to know how to operate. You got to know how to, if a woman is pushing your buttons, you got to be ready to walk away, or you got to level set the expectations. You can tell her like, hey, I expect these things. If you don't want to do these things, or this is not something that you like, then there's the door. Like you got to be able, men have to be able to walk away. I think that's probably the easiest thing that most men can do today. And regardless of, oh, I love her, blah, blah, blah. Is your peace worth it? Like, if you don't got no kids with this woman, is your peace worth it? Even if you got kids, I mean, that's a difficult conversation. But, is this worth it to you? Like, that's what people have to start, or men have to start realizing, that all these women, they kind of have the same platform, same software. And at some point, they're going to go rogue.
I'll say this to you. I'm going to take a bit of a different spin on this. So, in my mentor group a couple of weeks ago, a question was asked. If she's conservative, does that automatically mean that she's feminine? And I told him no, that's not the case. And we talked about a couple of examples in particular with Tommy Lauren, Megyn Kelly came up. Candace Owens actually came up too, believe it or not. And that was a 50-50 conversation. But
I was going to say, I think Candace may be feminine, but when she talking that shit, she ain't feminine. She's a dog when it comes to talking about the Macrons and talking about the Kirk, the Turning Point organization. She don't care.
Yeah, and that's the types of things that people need to. I always tell the guys that I talk to, it's all about what they're doing, not what they're saying. So you got to be mindful of stuff like that.
That's a good point. So yeah, all right. That is the end of that clip, and I think we are. Oh no, we got Sydney Sweeney to have a conversation with. Now, MC Sydney Sweeney. I didn't have this on my bingo board that Sydney Sweeney would be so controversial to a lot of these, to the liberals out there. And what I find fascinating is the amount of men talking about Sydney Sweeney's not attractive, and Sydney Sweeney is, she's a racist or whatever. And it's like, first of all, who's looking at Sydney Sweeney's face? Like, did I miss something here? Like, what are y'all talking about when it comes to Sydney Sweeney? Like, yeah, am I missing something here, MC?
I will be honest here. I have not heard one man say that she was not attractive. The people that be kind of trashy, as far as I can tell, have been the women. There might be some soy boys in there somewhere, but that is one thing I have not heard about her. What I do know is some of her cast space from that terrible show on HBO that I don't like, Euphoria, are trying to distance themselves from her and don't want to do any publicity runs with her because of that commercial. But I don't know. Maybe let's see if she breaks down and apologizes.
No, and it's another interesting conversation too, because Hollywood is constantly for the last 2-3 years, they were on us telling us that Hollywood, or not Hollywood, but this is how you guys need to operate. This is what you guys need to start doing. And that was never the case with they never believed their bullshit. Essentially, they more or less just said these things because their handlers told them to say, like, hey, this will look good with the people. And now they're actively trying to get now they're trying to get Sydney Sweeney, canceled, or at least lower her stock value when it comes to making movies and TV shows. It's crazy that her castmates would even take a stance on this, because it's like, what do y'all care? You guys don't give two shits about what she's doing or how she's having these conversations, and you really don't care about the whole jeans brand either.
Nobody did until she started talking about it. And I think their stock increased or something a couple weeks after they read those ads.
Yeah.
People don't care.
No, people essentially they just want to hate on her. So let's see. Oops.
The criticism of the content, which was basically that maybe specifically in this political climate, like, white people shouldn't joke about genetic superiority. Like, that was kind of like the criticism, broadly speaking.
Sorry. So turn the captions off.
And since you are talking about this, I just wanted to give you an opportunity to talk about that specifically.
I think that when I have an issue that I want to speak about, people will hear.
The criticism of
now in that conversation, and they didn't really get you have to watch the whole video, but essentially with Sydney Sweeney, she's not apologizing. And the reporter, or the journalist, or whatever you want to call her, she essentially she asked Sydney Sweeney in multiple ways, multiple questions, trying to get her to apologize, trying to get her to step into a landmine regarding this fake outrage on Sydney Sweeney wearing jeans, and talking about why they call it, she looks great in jeans or has great jeans, blah, blah, blah. I thought it was okay commercial. And as soon as I saw the commercial, I'm like, oh yeah, that's what they used to say back in the 90s, or I want to say maybe the 2000s, but this was something that they already had, they recycled. So it wasn't original per se. They just got Sydney Sweeney to really take it to the next level. And for these journalists to come out here and continue just hammer that question, and she tried to act like she was Sydney's friend. Never do an interview with that woman ever again. That woman is a piece of shit. That woman tried to set you up. She tried to mess up your money. Never work with these types of individuals again.
I mean, it further proves that we suspected from the jump the media mostly leans left. And this is the first time that I think that I got to give Trump credit for this. He was one of the first people to kind of bring that to light, because I had been saying it for years. I used to be heavy in the CNN space, and I was like, hold on, man, this is kind of turning into Barack Obama worship over here. Like, what's going on here? But to answer the question, since I asked the question earlier, so since he did that good jeans commercial, American Eagle stock has been up 60 to 70%. So there's been a positive impact of it.
Yep.
But I think people are overreacting, TR. We know American Eagle sells jeans, so they're literally talking about jeans. But let's just say theoretically she was doing a play on words and she was talking about her genetic makeup. Who cares?
Yeah.
How is that any different from anybody else walking down the street? That's like me saying I have good genes because I'm 6'3" and I'm somewhat muscular, and I'm like, who cares? Like, it's just somebody who's proud of who they are and what their composition is. It's really not a big deal.
Yeah. It's only because Sydney Sweeney is white. That's really what it is. She's white and she's attractive to pretty much most people. There's a reason Sydney Sweeney she was picked for the jeans. She was in that terrible movie. What was it called? Madam Web, or whatever, that spinoff Spider-Man with no Spider-Man, whatever it's called.
It's crazy you brought that up, because I'm like the one person who actually liked that movie. But go ahead.
No, you really are the one person. I haven't seen it really, because I was like, there's no Spider-Man in it, so why are you doing it? But anyways, the point is, Sydney Sweeney, maybe she's a good actress, bad actress. I don't really know, because I don't watch her stuff like that. But she should not be trending over this idiotic stuff and got you guys in your feels. Just a week ago, you're crying about EBT getting cut off. And then now you guys are worried about the E-files. And then we swung it all the way back to Sydney Sweeney. Like, can y'all pick a lane? Can y'all figure out what y'all really are upset with? Just say because she's white. That's why you dislike her, and she's in good shape and good looking. Just say that. I don't understand why they just dance around it and they try to hide it with like, well, I think she was trying to be racist, or she was trying to talk about, the Germans, that one guy, the mustache man. Like, I think that's what they're trying to say, but they just don't want to admit that she's, she kind of won the genetic lottery. She was born in the United States, and she's kind of like the face that you put out there now. So if you want people to watch your show or move your products.
So you were talking about the mustache man, right? It's funny how people they love talking about eugenics when it comes to him, but they don't want to talk about it when it comes to Margaret Sanger.
Hey, for real.
Like,
Yep.
do you see how hypocritical this is?
I'm telling you right now.
It's crazy.
I'm telling you right now, MC. When we get these, we get a little bit of time. I'm gonna get a shirt that says something like "Shout out to Margaret Sanger." Like, she keeping. Margaret Sanger is probably one of the worst people to ever walk this. I mean, we're talking about the mustache man, but Margaret Sanger, she ain't too far off. She said she wanted to exterminate some of you people, and then for whatever reason, you want to run out to Planned Parenthood and you want to applaud her for her accomplishments for feminism. Margaret Sanger did not like Black people. That you can look at Wikipedia, you can go to Chat GPT, you can go to Gemini, you can go wherever you want. Margaret Sanger did not like Black people, but you guys love her. And for whatever reason, nobody wants to go back to revisionist history and talk about how shitty of a person that she was. But you want to knock down statues. You want to see what Trump did back in the 80s or who he pissed off. Shit, you guys want to go through people's Twitter and timelines to see what they said when they were teenagers. But for Margaret Sanger, she gets a pass on all this shit.
Yeah, and taking it back to Sydney Sweeney, man, essentially the layers behind this, it comes down to standards of beauty. And at the end of the day, that's a preference thing. People like what they like. As long as look, think about it like this. If I met somebody who was white and they told me that they want to have children that look just like them, so they're not dating out, is that an offensive statement?
I'm sorry, what was that last part you said?
Is that an offensive statement? If you met somebody who was white and they said, I don't think I want to date outside of my race, I want my kids to look like me, do you think that's an offensive statement?
Oh, it's not offensive, right? It's not offensive.
No, it's really not, because we know people who look like us who do that all the time.
Yeah.
So it's another double standard. Like, the only thing that you owe me is leave me alone when it comes to my education, my ability to get a bag, and my safety. You don't owe me anything else outside of that. Your dating preferences and your beauty preferences have nothing to do with me, and nobody cares except for the hypersensitive folks.
Well, it's the same thing with Nick Fuentes. He says a lot of things that some people would consider, but I'm like, if you swap Nick Fuentes's color and opposite of any of the slurs he may say, I don't follow him like that, but whatever he says, everybody's gonna be like, well, they're Black or they're Mexican, or whatever, insert brown color. They're okay with it. Then it's perfectly fine. We saw people, running around with their the Mexican flag in the United States talking about Mexico, we are whatever they were saying, like, no kings, blah, 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 but also we want to be here. We saw a lot of people doing that, and no one ever gets flack for stuff like that. It's only when a white person says it, because we know people, and then we've been around, or we've seen, people in these Black spaces say similar things like that, and they never catch any smoke for it.
Yeah, and we've also seen videos of a lot of people in Mexico turning up and protesting because of an influx of immigrants from Venezuela and Colombia and Panama and Guatemala. So,
whoa, MC,
yeah.
I gotta slow your roll here. They got a female president. You got to give her some time to clean it up, because that's what they needed. They understood the assignment when they brought in a female president and not Kamala Harris. So yeah, they might have the cartel still might be running Mexico. Yeah, people are rioting. Yeah, potential mayoral candidates are losing their lives, but you got to give her some time.
You gotta give her some time. GTFO.
All right. Anything else before we go to the main event, MC?
No, I just want to salute the men for not getting too emotionally involved in this conversation because it was mostly women and sassy men that were caring about this type of thing. So salute to the masculine men that didn't care about this.
Well, you know what? It really wasn't. Hold on. It really wasn't like I felt like it wasn't really straight men because I can tell from their responses that they had a problem with it. It was all these, these simp enforcers, white knighting, trying to talk like Sydney Sweeney this, Sydney Sweeney that. I'm like, do you really have a problem with Sydney Sweeney? Or are you just trying to get some, I mean, if you're just trying to get some cat, just say that. Just say like, hey, I just think this is going to bring me closer to some girl that I like at work. So, she might be down with it. I don't know. I'm like, all right, that's all you got to say.
TR, you just described every male feminist. Every male feminist. That's their way in. Oh, I'm just pretend like I'm into all the stuff she's into.
Yeah,
Hopefully
exactly.
she'll give me some.
Exactly. That's exactly what they're waiting for. So anyway.
Yep.
All right. Let's do the main event. Now, we are probably gonna get a lot of smoke for this one, but I think it's a fascinating conversation that we should be having, or at least contribute to. This clip is from Anton's weekly show, and they're talking about, or they're having a conversation about are 98 or 95% of the men out there, are only 5% of men attracted to women. Oh man, hold on. I'm still MC. You got to talk. Sorry.
First of all, that's a you know what I'm gonna say. That's a wild statement to make. And when you see the person who made that statement, and I use the word person very loosely when I say that, but it's going to make sense that you're not going to fully understand it because we're diving into the realm of crazy. A lot of the person who made that comment, as soon as you see them, you're going to understand what I'm talking about. But a lot of times people just throw random numbers out. At least here on this podcast, any claim that we make, we'll try to substantiate it with some type of news article or study or something. But this mofo was just going off the hip. And I say mofo because I'm trying to chill out on the cussing, but you'll see. It'll come together.
All right, here we go.
Okay, so I guess it's time.
Pop your robe and call it in.
I'm being honest. That's the truth.
You all ready for the next segment?
Why do you ask us that? Why don't you
Only.
Sorry, guys.
Fuck.
5%.
Yeah, that sounds like a car. I hope it was.
And we know it's not 30,000.
Oh, a car. Yeah, that would be a lot more expensive. That would be a lot more. Yeah, well, if you include like a car. Yeah, I bought a car before.
Sorry.
I was saying 30,000 at first, but yeah, a car would be.
There we go.
And I will continue to be polite.
5% of the population that are men like women only. 5%.
Wow.
95% of men will fuck anybody.
MC, before I continue playing this, early thoughts?
Like I said, that is a wild statistic, but here's where I'll give a teeny tiny bit of grace. Some of y'all dudes out here are so thirsty to be in the presence of a woman that you take down something that you're not proud of the next day. But this, whatever part of the rainbow he falls into, that is complete. 5%? Come on, man. That's wild. You got to substantiate that if you want. And he tries to later on, but it's nonsense. That's complete nonsense.
Wait, how do you pull? Where's this stat from? Where's
His own. I know.
I'm not going to say you're wrong, but I want to just know.
Let me just tell you this.
Do we have a study or something?
Yeah, he's
I am the study.
He's the study.
Oh, you're the study. Okay.
I am the Harvard study.
Okay.
Did you hear that?
As a very feminine man who has never pretended to be anything but what I was born, I do look a certain way, which that also upset people when I was talking about Charlie and trans and all this.
He called himself a very feminine man. Is that not a contradiction? I guess.
Dude, I'm a guy. Do I look very feminine? Yes, I love hair and nails and makeup. I don't know. It's just built in me to like fashion.
You can imagine where the calculus of a lot of this gets confusing.
Yes. So society has let everyone know that men have to be macho and men. So if they have sex with a male or anyone that's feminine that has a penis, they're now demasculated in their freak show. It's very bizarre. So unfortunately, the DL term is very real. A lot of guys want to hook up on the DL because the world will judge them. There's been dudes that have been in love with me.
So that's a good point, actually. That's pretty much the only good point that he made. At some point, we have to let people be who they are. Otherwise, you're going to run into a situation, especially if you're a woman, where you're dating a guy who takes the same tools that you do, and you don't even know about it because you're so busy trying to shut down when he tries to tell you. You do need to let people be who they are. I think they're a bunch of weirdos, but I'll never hate any of them. I think it's weird. I'm not capable of understanding this lifestyle. But
MC,
I'm not going to show any hatred either.
aren't they doing what they want to do? These last couple of years, I've seen they've tried to put they try to do drag show story hour in schools. Aren't these people?
Yeah, but there's still a lot of people that are ashamed of it. There's still a lot of people that are ashamed of it.
Jeez.
And honestly, TR, that's why I don't respect them, because a part of masculinity is being unapologetic with who you are and not caring what people think about it. Like, I have a cousin who's, he's zesty, but I'll tell you what, if you call him that, he can box. He got hands. He gonna put them hands on you. You ain't gonna like it, but he's open about who he is, and he don't care.
Yeah.
Those are the ones I can at least have some respect for, because you are who you are. You ain't trying to hide it. You ain't trying to front.
And like literally wanted to kill themselves because they're in love with me, but their parents will disown them, and that means more than me. I have had grown men literally like.
Jeez. All right, we thought that was crazy. Now we really about to get to the fuck shit.
Bro, what the fuck is this, man?
It's a reasonable question, Slimmy.
I agree.
Bro, fuck this.
Well, let's
It's a
put the
reasonable
question on the
Slimmy.
table.
It's a reasonable question.
Yeah, Slimmy said, I'm out.
Is
Yeah, Slimmy. Yeah, Quentin and Slimmy, they definitely bowed out.
only 5% of men attracted to is only 5%.
It's written wrong, but go ahead.
But of men attracted to women only. Let's start with the ladies.
We'll never know the answer to that. There's no way to know the answer to that. But
now I will say the panel got hung up on the percentages. Even if it's like 25%, that's still a lot. Even if it's like 50%, that's still a lot. Now, what I think the dude was trying to say is that only 5% of men are like actually attracted to women. Now, if you think about attracted to only women, and then we think about some of the monsters we have out there, they take advantage of minors. They work in the churches. They work in a lot of these school programs. That 5%, we're not close to the whole 5% though. But you start chopping that number down. You start thinking like, well, you got to take in all those people. Atlanta, San Francisco, those are all men, and then you got the whole prison system as well too. So maybe 5% was too low. I know I'm in the goddamn 5%, but when you start adding all these other groups of people, and then we just talked about the whole drag show and everything, and honestly, MC, I feel like if you put the men that voted for Kamala in there, we might be closer to that number than you think.
So let me tell you
I
why.
got questions.
There's lots and lots of questions. 5% is way too low. That's number one. Number two.
Remember, 5% only attracted to women.
That's my other concern with this guy. He's a guy. To me, he's a guy.
Yeah, we all know it's a guy, MC.
He said that only 5% are attracted to women, but then he later on tried to define what a woman was, and it was just all over the place.
Yeah.
So right off the rip, I know I can't have a conversation with somebody.
He definitely changed it.
Yeah, and that's why a lot of these people, these conservative people that were doing these college tours, they always ask what is a woman, because what you're doing is you're setting the baseline on what the conversation is going to be.
Yeah.
And if you can't define things, then you're having a disingenuous conversation and you're wasting time. And that's basically what he was doing.
Yeah, no, I think it's like I said, I think when you start adding in all these other groups of men, you see this other thing too. Now, I have a daughter that just turned 18. Shout out to her. Now, when she was growing up, and I still have concerns, like I think most fathers would, but I can't leave her in a room with, as a minor, like, with a man. I'm very protective of my daughter, and I don't want her to be in any, like, if she had to be stuck on an island with a guy. Like, we already have these concerns. Shit, people were starting to crash out on Patrick Beverly because they thought some 18-year-old guy was having his way with his sister. Come to find out, Patrick Beverly put 5 across her eye. But the point is, everyone started to like lose their mind over a 18-year-old guy, which is still like, people still give them a little grace there. But the point is, they started losing their mind because they were like, why is that 18-year-old guy messing with his minor daughter? I'm like, because we don't want men that are 18 and up messing with our daughters that are under 18. That's just what it is. And we know for a fact there are men out there that take advantage of younger women and young boys. I hate to say it, but we know for a fact there are men out there that do stuff like that. That is one of the main reasons why I just don't trust men off rip. Like, I'm not going to do that because I've seen too many cases of y'all doing fuck shit. Shit, we played a video of some dude running out to Ariana Grande. Now, he was a man older, he was above 18, and Ariana Grande is an adult. But y'all can't control yourselves sometimes. Y'all do silly and dumbass shit that get y'all locked up. And I don't want to talk about the whole grape thing because when it comes to graping, people just think it's just, women between this range, and it ain't. It's women all ranges. Like, we got straight up monsters in this world and in the United States specifically. I believe it when they say like most of these men, there's a small percentage of men that are only attracted to women, or at least would only do something with a woman. The other rest of you motherfuckers, I can't defend all that. I mean, again, we can squabble about the numbers, but at the end of the day, there's some truth to what he's saying.
Yeah, there's little bits of truth in there for sure. I'm not going to completely discount what he was saying, but for the most part, these are wild statements.
Yeah.
I don't believe that that's the case. I think that there's a large percentage that are just attracted to a whole, but I don't think.
Hey, that is also true because some of you, I was going to say something. I have to shut the stream down. Some of y'all, if y'all see a fat ass without seeing the face, some of y'all is going before y'all see the face. Some of y'all are doing things, y'all are like, hey, she got a dunk. She got, ass is there. But you haven't seen her face yet. That's the problem I have with when you look at the people that are pretending to be women, they adopted the image and some of y'all still be going for it. Like, again, y'all could be mad at the messenger, but you got to look at some of y'all are acting like that. It's like really fucking weird. And it all started, I feel like it's been happening for a while, but it's definitely come to fruition these last couple of years.
I feel the same way about the whole BBL movement. I never really got into that. But then again, I've always kind of, that wasn't my thing.
I think it's 95% of men. I think that's ridiculous.
Somebody said, I'd say 90% of men are attracted to women only. Do you think that's accurate? That most?
I think 2% of men.
Surveys say.
I think 2% of men are only attracted.
I think 98% of men like other than women, or additional
women, or just
women and additional. I think about 2% men are straight heterosexual male. And let me preface this: I've been feeling.
This is Kim. Kim is funny. Sometimes she's talkative, sometimes she isn't. But the face that she was making, even all their faces that they're making, they're like, "Whoa, we might be going too far. You might guess you about to piss off the chat."
Yeah, Molly about to burn the whole house down.
Yep.
Feeling this way for a long time before all these conversations will come up. Just my observations of men in general, and the fact that I feel like men have to literally be taught how to not be homosexuals a lot of the time. Why would you have to teach a species
Hey, you know what? What do we talk about in certain communities if they're raised by a single mom?
That's a
We have
problem.
that conversation. We have that conversation. We say, like, look, he was raised by a single mom, and that's why he turned out the way that he did. And this is the other thing too, MC. I have personally seen when everybody was crashing out in these last couple of years about, hey, okay, good example, Dwayne Wade, Marlon Wayans. Those are two men. Marlon Wayans, he took on the identity of his kid. This dude is straight. He took on the identity of his kid. And then we got Dwayne Wade, whose kid, however that conversation went, at the end of the day, look, once you turn 18, you can do whatever you want. We ain't about to change no birth certificates, and we ain't about to change no names in the house either, too. And Dwayne Wade, along with Gabrielle Union, which everyone loves Gabrielle Union, but she turned a black son into a black daughter. So I don't want to hear any of that bullshit about, trying to stay on code and being pro-black and everything, because I get it. Maybe he was feeling some type of way, whatever the case is. But at the end of the day, you do not try to go to go to your state legislator and try to change the rules. Well, actually, he left Florida, because people forget about this. He left Florida because he was concerned about the safety of his son/daughter, or whatever it was at the time. And he moved to California, and that's where they allowed California. And another reason why you have to be careful with some of these people, because some of them you don't even know they were a woman until you find out when you're trying to in the love making, whatever. But they're changing the birth certificates, and they just got pissed off because Trump rolled back that thing on your passport about your gender or whatever the case is. So you got people, again, maybe Molly said 2%, and maybe she's close to that number, and maybe that number is a little bit higher though. But considering like what people have been doing in the last couple of years, people have been doing some odd stuff when it comes to like, are you a straight heterosexual man? Because now you got to start putting asterisks on it. And again, we don't want to talk about Atlanta. Atlanta's a whole nother conversation.
I would argue that, and I don't want to speak for Molly, but I think she misspoke. I think what she meant to say was that 2% number that she threw out. I would argue that's probably the percentage of men who are both heterosexual and masculine, because we have a masculinity crisis right now. We got a bunch of men that are super sensitive. They can't take criticism. They don't fight when times get hard. They don't want to go in the gym. They don't want to defend themselves. They don't want to do any type of hard work.
Low testosterone.
A bunch of low T bros. So I think the majority of men are still heterosexual, but I would probably say only 2 to 5% are both heterosexual and fully masculine.
Yeah, and not to shit. There's the other thing too. What do people always say? What is the one diss against Barack Obama that people make jokes about? What is it, MC?
I don't think he's the head of his house. That's my criticism of it.
What's the other one? What's the other one about Barack Obama?
If you about to say what I think you about to say, we might not want to say that, because I heard this lawsuit's going around with that.
All I'm saying is people are always joking about Michelle, and obviously I don't think that that's the case. But even on this show, they're talking about Michelle this, Michelle that. So it's like, which is it? Either you guys think there's more of men out there that claim to be straight, or you guys are just being assholes about it. So which is it? Because I think there's a little bit of the truth. And again, I don't say that thing about Michelle, but a lot of people seem to believe that Michelle is different.
Yeah, that's man. That's man. You just said, man. Don't get me.
Yeah, shit. We saw what happened with Diddy. Diddy was watching other men bang his chick. Like,
here's the thing, though, TR. Anytime we use a celebrity, it's a bad example, because most of them are weirdos. Most of them are weirdos.
No, because we know. Well, I don't know, but there are men out there that are okay. Like, yeah, I'll watch my chick get banged out. They do.
I don't know where that trend came from, but man.
Hey, look, all I'm saying is that there are men out there that will watch their chick, get tossed by other men. I mean, they got parties for this stuff. And I got questions. If you're watching your chick get, banged out, and this was all, came out in the court, that Diddy was watching and pleasure himself. What makes you think that men are not? I mean, what makes you think that Diddy is 100% straight?
I never thought he was. So you asking the wrong person on that one.
That's what I'm saying. It's like,
yeah.
As much as people want to defend it, say like, Molly's, she's way incorrect. Okay, you don't like the fucking number, fine. But is there some accuracy to this? Because I'll probably say 1 out of 4, maybe half.
The conversation is accurate as hell. It's just those numbers I think are a little bit off. If you force me to throw a percentage on it, I'd say it's probably 70-30.
Yeah. See, and you're not. I mean, you're not super far off from Molly, but that's probably more of a reasonable number. And I don't know. And again, it's just one of those things. It's like if you're trying to teach, we're heading to like a what do you call it? A birth shortage or something? What is that word?
We've been having birth shortages. Like when the baby boomers start to retire and a lot of them start to pass away, we're gonna run into some real problems with our GDP because we're not making enough babies to replace that large segment of the population.
Japan is running into this issue, and so maybe we're about 50. Maybe we're about 50 to 100 years off. But if people aren't having kids, and then you got Margaret Sanger's legacy still out there, I mean, there's a reason why the Black community hasn't even grown. So you're not even making any more Black babies. You're not even making any more Black men because you're leaving them at the goddamn clinic.
Yeah.
So I don't want to hear.
We talked about that for sure. But who leads the league in deletions? Baby deletions.
Exactly. Yeah. So again, you're not making any more humans, and people are getting having babies too late in their life to where they only have like one kid. Like that's not going to help. That's not going to help the world. But hey, if you guys don't want to help with the, if people don't want to do their part, or at least at the very least, like acknowledge that there's an issue here and we got to correct and have a Andrew Wilson type of world, then we ain't going to get there, MC.
I've been told you we ain't gonna get there.
He's not to be homosexual if it wasn't kind of okay.
Well, one more thing too. Another thing, these schools were kind of teaching it too. Like these schools, and we talked about the whole pronoun thing, and that's generally attributed to the LGBT community. But we got schools trying to corral kids into a certain direction when it comes to LGBT stuff.
Yeah, if you look at the majority of teachers are women who are liberal, so that's not surprising to me at all.
Right.
What are your thoughts?
Well, not just homosexual, but like not like with children, with animals, with men.
See,
she do all that in there.
Okay, MC.
Yeah.
As soon as I say this, you're gonna be like, "Well, isn't there a certain part in the world? There's a certain country or a certain group of men in this country where the rumor is they be laying with their goats."
Yeah, there's multiple countries that have that association attached to them.
So they talked about this is all of men. Okay, fine, but we have seen cases of men doing vile things with animals. Like there was a story, and I gotta clean this up though. But there was a story where a guy and his horse, and he died from a procreate. I forget the word, but pretty much his. Anyways, I'm just gonna skip it. The point is that guy died after being with that horse. Okay, but again, it's like, oh, haha, funny. That's just crazy. But again, there are men out there that do some of this crazy stuff, and they're not attracted to straight women. And I think the bigger conversation that people should be having is the birth rate. That's the word I was looking for. The birth rate is an issue here, but also these are men you're supposed to do battle with and build a community with. You can't build a community like that. Shit, you can't build a community with a man who has a corn addiction. You can't build a community like that.
Right.
So regardless of what people how they feel about the numbers, you can't build a community like that. And the community is really, for the most part, is kind of cooked. Because if you can't build a community, and if you can't trust people around your family, around your daughters, like you should be able to trust. I mean, in a perfect world, you can trust people around your kids. especially your daughters, and if your son goes to like a camp or something. I mean, the Catholic Church, that's another example of they have some issues. They have a lot of issues, or the Boy Scouts of America. They've had numerous issues of scout leaders or men taking advantage of minors, kids in their programs, or going to their church. But again, people want to get mad at Molly about the numbers and everything. We got to start looking at all that stuff, though. We got to start cleaning up. It's like, why is this stuff allowed to happen? For as many people that get upset about when these men touch on these kids, oh, they're going to go to jail. Okay, well, you're sending them to a place where they might like or they might enjoy. Maybe they won't enjoy it, but it's only for a couple of years. These people won't get a couple of years. How come we don't have that? I mean, Florida has this law where if you do touch on a kid, you're eligible for the death penalty. We should have that. That should be in every goddamn state. But for some reason, people want to, like, hey, well, they'll just figure it out in jail, or we hope that the prisoners take care of it. A lot of times they don't. You know how I know they don't? Because we got a whole website that tells you where these men are at. And I'm not advocating for violence, but all I'm saying is I don't see any reports of XYZ person finding out.
I mean, there are countries where if you're caught doing stuff like that, castration is an option. Obviously, it's not the United States.
Well, also, shout out to Ghana. They don't play about that either.
Yeah, for real. And so before I did what I do now, I used to work in the brand risk department where we essentially scan the internet and shut down things like that. It was brutal, TR. And I can substantiate what you said. There's one particular part of the world where that happened a little bit more than others.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about that job was brutal to the point where you had to see a therapist once a week to keep working there and sign NDAs and stuff like that. It happens way more often than people think, man. It's a crazy world out here.
Also, I mean, that Jared Vogel guy, the Subway guy, everybody probably thought that guy was a straight dude, but it turns out he's attracted to minors. So, yeah, miss me with this whole men this, men that thing, because most of y'all can't even trust a dude around your chick, let alone your daughter.
And most of them bring unworthy people around their kids in the first place without properly vetting them. That's really what the root of the problem is.
100% facts.
Well, I'm gonna let Karen.
Lex.
I don't know.
Also, I got a problem. Like women, women don't have a problem calling a dude. The biggest insult that women have is either Johnson is too small, pause, or you rainbow. That's another thing. Women don't ever have a problem being short on words when it comes to insults to a man. But on this topic, the only person that was real about it was Molly. As much as smoke as she gets, she was the only one that was real about it.
Yeah, she really was.
Obviously has some incline to what he's talking about. He thinks, the men that he messed with are more than likely straight. Is what he's saying. I'm sorry. I don't mean to cut you off, but allegedly, this is who destroyed Kim K and Kanye's relationship. Jeffree Star.
And you know, it's funny. You know, when it's Kanye West, and they brought this up though, but when I stopped listening to Kanye West is when it wasn't after he made all the Yahtzee, I'm not going to say those types of people. It wasn't until he said all stuff. I'm like, hey, rappers say a lot of crazy things. It's when he said he was with his cousin, and I was like, all right, Kanye, I'm done with you. I can't, even if you're joking, I'm pretty sure he was joking. I can't even talk about that because it's like you are
cracking. It took you that long, TR? Do you not remember what Amber Rose said about him when they was arguing on Twitter?
Amber Rose said what?
Do you not remember what she said about him when they were arguing on Twitters?
No, remind me, because apparently I got a terrible memory.
I'm going to censor this a little bit, but he likes things inserted in certain places.
Yeah, see, and we have said if a man
don't sue Amber Rose, she said it.
Yeah, but the point is there are some men that are okay with those prostate exams in their bedrooms, and we find out you doing that, you getting clown, and they're gonna call you a certain way. I'm trying to remember if there was a guy where he was into stuff like that. But remember that one guy that was on the Cross, what's her face? Cross, Tiffany Cross. And he was like kept trying to be a Captain Save a Hole for her when they got into that beef with Stephen A. He got busted. Well, pause. He got in some stuff.
Oh, you're talking about Andrew Gilliam.
Yeah, Gilliam. Yeah, he got caught up in some mess because he was with some guy, and this guy was a straight guy. I mean, I don't think people even knew that he was playing for other team. Again, there's no problem with playing for other team, but the people got to stop hiding this stuff. Like, if this is your truth, then you start living your truth. Don't be sleeping with straight women and then creating these types of super diseases. Because don't get mad at me for bringing it up. Get mad at the CDC for saying these types of diseases are prevalent in these certain communities, which was, if you put where all the Black people are at and some of the additional activity, they seem to be areas that have a lot of STD rates.
But do you see the hypocrisy in that statement, though? Because a woman would be quick to tell you that body count in her past doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden it does. Like, which one is it?
Well, I mean, you have to start asking women, like, the men that they've been with. And I know they probably won't tell you, but you got to start using your context clues, because you got to start being smart about the women you sleep with. I mean, I know raw is law, but man, you don't want to get the clap or the herpes when you're in your 30s or 40s or whatever. Or at least if you're married, you definitely want to be getting an STD, because that's going to be a whole nother conversation, though. But that's just, I mean, this is stuff that's happening and people don't want to have a conversation with. And the whole download thing, that's been around forever, since since I knew about the term, like back in the 90s, early 2000s, and they're still doing it. And then they're wondering why women have a higher STD rate than men. They're sleeping with the same guy that's infected, and some of those men are playing for both teams. But that's the conversation.
If we're being honest, TR, I'm gonna veer off subject just a little bit, but I gotta throw this out there. I think there's way more women that play both ways than there are men. Way more.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, by default, yeah.
Yeah, because they like to delete, like they'll when they do give you body count stuff, they'll delete that one person that they regret, or somebody they change their mind about later, or that one time they messed with a woman and experimented. They like to delete stuff like that.
Yeah, facts.
Okay. But go on.
He's like a MUA or something.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump to the guys.
Yeah, he's a makeup artist.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right. So.
And I think that we got a higher incarceration rate in our community than otherwise, and that also factors into it. So when you start to have all of these,
What'd you say?
You were just talking about that.
Yeah, the whole prison. Yeah, 100%. If we know a guy that's been in prison for, a year or maybe even longer than that, people are already making those jokes. They think you already got touched. I mean, I stopped watching Oz. I didn't know what Oz was. I knew it was a prison show, but I didn't know how what they were going to show on Oz. I was like, I'm done. I don't need to see this anymore.
I heard the stories. That was enough for me. I hadn't seen it.
Yep.
All of these things into it. I don't see why we won't say that it's a lot of guys, and the majority of the guys that's out here, because a lot of guys, they participate in all of that stuff or some of that stuff one way or another. We got the highest rated single mother households. We have a huge problem when it comes to our crime rate and being incarcerated. And when niggas is locked up around men too long, what the fuck you think is happening? We got that problem happening.
I don't understand why people have such a problem with it, because the chat was crashing out over this. I'm like, they really got stuck on the percentages, but it's like, you look at some of the things that's going on and it's not just like the Black community, of course, but they were speaking majority to Black people. You look at stuff that's been plaguing the Black community. Those things are all true. Shit. And like I said, some of come on, Hollyweird. Where does that term come from? We saw how Will Smith got into acting. People forget about that. We saw, I didn't see this movie. Maybe you did. Brokeback Mountain. Everybody gave everybody a pass in that movie.
That's why I'm happy I married the person I did, because we both said, nope, we ain't messing with that one. We gonna pass it. We gonna pass it.
So why is it in Hollywood we're giving a lot of these men passes when they do rainbow stuff, but when Molly says 2% or this guy says 5%, people start crashing out. I'm like, when you start breaking these numbers down, also by these industries and where these if they're actors or if they're in politics, this is stuff that is definitely happening in the community, and people have to start acknowledging it. And then once you start acknowledging it, then you start trying to fix how the community should be operating, though, because nobody's saying you can't be rainbow, but you need to start self-identifying where you're at.
Yeah, you really should. And a lot of people, they just ain't that confident. They because they're ashamed of it. They don't want to admit it because they're ashamed of it, because they know how they really feel about it deep down in the back of their heads, and that's why they go through these little phases of hiding and being ashamed.
Yep. All right, let me get to this last part.
We got no self-control when it comes to dick discipline. We over freaked out.
I don't like that. I don't want to be in conversations like that. I think it's kind of corny. Like, you stay on your side. Don't speak on men over here. You don't ever want us. Y'all don't even want us to talk about your lifestyle and say, hey, we don't rock with that. We can't even say we don't rock with y'all. So what the fuck you speaking on straight men for? That's why I got a problem with it. Because y'all don't even want to be judged on what y'all do. That's the facts. Y'all don't want nobody speaking down on your lifestyle. So stay your bitch asses over there. Stay your bitch asses over there and don't speak on straight men. Don't. I think that's problematic.
He's absolutely right.
This is a family show.
True, but that doesn't change the fact that he was right. I think that there are too many. Okay, there's a certain therapist woman who's been going viral in these podcast spaces, who's always talking about male-female relationships, but the receipts were recently pulled that she don't even date men; she dates women.
Oh, see, yeah.
So if you don't participate in those types of relationships, you're not qualified to talk about them. You just shouldn't.
MC, you're right. However, there are some stories that we would never know about had it not been for the whole Me Too. It started with it started with a woman, but Kevin Spacey. Had that one guy not come out and say Kevin Spacey was touching on him or trying to have his way with him, we would never know that Kevin Spacey was operating like this. I think some people maybe thought about it, but no one really knew that Kevin Spacey was doing. So on one hand, I understand what Slimmy is saying when it comes to, like, you stay over there, we stay over here. Well, then are we gonna do that about relationships? Slimmy's not married, not to put his business out there, but he's not married. But he will definitely have a conversation and an opinion on married women giving out bad advice. Let Ayesha Curry come up there and have a conversation. These people, look, I'm not even defending Ayesha Curry. She deserves all the smoke she gets. But we got to be able to, like, listen to what these people are saying. I mean, it's just like, I can't say that. But, with certain people, they might be saying stuff. Doesn't mean you got to follow it. And it also, like, you're giving us a heads up, like some insight on what's going on. And so we start saying, like, you stay over there. Don't talk about us. We want to talk about you. Fine. But we know people be lying. We know people are going to go behind enemy lines and start pillow talking. So you got to be able to have a conversation, at least especially on these panels, because you guys got to have, they're up there. They want to hear your opinion. And I understand he doesn't want to, like, listen to everybody or have them talk on it and set the standard. That's fine. You set the standard. You say, like, you know what? He's probably right. That number's probably way too low. But also, this is the conversation we need to be having in these communities, though. And this is how the Black community can kind of get back on track when it comes to, like, family first, lower the incarceration rate, lowering the single mother rate, not being on EBT. Like, people get upset when they see Black people faces are on here, but some of that stuff is truthful. But I don't see a lot of those men that were defending Black faces wifing up those Black women with those single Black moms. I just don't see it. Maybe it's happening in certain states, but it ain't happening on a general level, macro level.
Hey, TR, who made the movies Why Did I Get Married and Why Did I Get Married Too? Who's making those relationship movies?
I meant to bring that up when I was, like, thinking about this video. I was like, they didn't bring this person up. Exactly. Tyler Perry. And he ain't never come out. Well, there's been accusations.
Well, he's being sued. That's all we know right now.
Well,
it's a gentleman that's suing him. We know what the lawsuit says.
Yeah. So yeah, Tyler Perry, he gets a lot of smoke for, and he does a lot of stuff, for the black community. I've seen, he's given tons of money, try to put people on. He may have a dark side to him. He may be using his studio to get access to, I guess it wouldn't be box, but the opposite of box, whatever it is. He may he may be using that to his advantage. And again, like, yeah, are you a dirtbag for that? Yeah, you are. But again, at least you know where he's at. If you want to start working in these types of industries, you got to be able to put on Hollywood, you got to put on a dress. I forgot, was that Cat Williams that said that, or whoever said that? You got to put a dress on. At least you black men got to put dresses on in Hollywood. I don't know why that you have to do that.
And when you do push back against stuff like this, I don't know if you remember this, but a couple years ago, Genuine had one of the T's in the LGBT try to kiss him, and he puts them away and kind of slapped him.
Oh yeah,
he was getting smoked for that for a while. But at some point, people are going to get tired of them having their foot on everybody's neck, and they were going to start pushing back. And I think that's what's happening now.
Yeah. So, all right, that is going to wrap up this episode. Last words, MC.
Man, get to the gym, man. Thanksgiving is coming up. Get your gym time in, because you're gonna be eating all kinds of bad stuff on Thanksgiving. So go ahead and get it in.
I'm glad you said that, though. I just signed up for a new gym, and only gone a few times, but I gotta get some work in.
Same here.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Peace.